very adequately addressed the question. Question number 5, Alfred Ngaro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Education, what recent announcements has she made about achievement against national standards?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Today I released the second year of National Standards aggregate data and, for the first time, data on the achievement of students in Māori medium schools. The 2012 National Standards data shows small positive gains in reported achievement overall. Overall, achievement is strongest against the national standards for reading, followed by mathematics and then writing. The information released today also includes, for the first time, data on achievement by year level. We have an education system that is amongst the best in the world, but we can do better. Good quality data on student achievement at all levels is essential if we are going to achieve a system-wide lift. Under this government, we have started to collect such data.
Supplementary question, Alfred Ngaro.
To the Minister of Education, what is the value of the achievement data that has been reported?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. In the words of Andreas Schleicher, Education Director at the OECD, quote, "Without data, you are just another person with an opinion." Close quote. Achievement data is extremely powerful.
Order.
Achievement data is extremely powerful. At a school level, it helps principals and teachers to target resources where they are most needed. At a system level, we will be using it to continue to get resources to those schools that need it most. Public achievement information allows parents to see how their child and their child's school is performing, and will allow the government to see how well the system as a whole is doing in order to raise achievement for all students. Public achievement information includes national standards, ngā whanaketanga rumaki Māori data, Education Review Office reports, schools' annual reports, NCEA data, and relevant national and international reports.
Point of order, Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I know it's really unusual for an opposition member to do this for a government question, but my view is it was a very good question that actually wasn't addressed, and I wonder whether the question could be repeated so the Minister could address it.
On this occasion, the question was clear and the answer addressed the question. Supplementary question, Materia Ture. Oh, sorry. That's new. Again, I humbly withdraw and apologise and hope that I will be forgiven. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I've done all I can do, and that's humbly apologise. And now, the supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Education, can she guarantee...
Order. The member has a right to have his question heard.
When they're done. Mr. Speaker, to the Minister of Education, can she guarantee that the national standards are being applied consistently across all schools, and that the same student being assessed in one school wouldn't get a different result if assessed in a different school? If not, why not?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr. Speaker, the New Zealand education system runs on a high trust model which is based on the overall teacher judgments made by teachers. Teachers use a whole range of tools to make those assessments. They do that in every school across New Zealand. As we get better at this process, the moderation that will be involved, the judgments will become more consistent. This is the second year of national standards data, and so there will be some variation.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Speaker, the question that I asked was whether she could guarantee...
Can the member just repeat the question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can she guarantee that the national standards are being applied consistently across all schools, and that the same student being assessed in one school wouldn't get a different result if assessed in a different school? If not, why not?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr. Speaker, no, I can't guarantee that. In the same way as the National Certificate of Educational Achievement has taken 10 years to develop the robustness that it has and been applauded by the international systems with whom we compare ourselves, and that is why we are in the process of investing in skills for teachers, for consistency and progress in national standards.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
What is the moderation process for national standards?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, the Public Achievement Information Framework over the next 5 years was published on the Education website last year. It sets out the approach over the next 5 years of investing in exactly that, on how we can ensure that the quality of judgments made by individual teachers across the school system will become more consistent over time, in the same way as the national curriculum has taken 12 years, the National Certificate of Educational Achievement has taken 10 years. This is only the second year of national standards data reporting.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, it was a very short and simple question. What is the moderation process for national standards?
I understood that the Minister's referred you to go and look at the website.
Well, point of order, Mr Speaker.
Will be available.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. This is question time where we ask questions and ministers answer them.
Question time, Mr Hipkins.
So can I have the answer to the question?
You cannot expect an answer to the satisfaction of the member. The Minister responded and adequately addressed the question by saying the detailed information the member needs is available for the member on the website. Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, is it acceptable for any minister to answer any question that the opposition put to them by saying, well, that information is available on a website somewhere?
No, it's clearly not acceptable on all occasions, but on this occasion, to expect the Minister to have the detail at her fingertips, I think is reasonable. And I took it from the Minister's answer that she didn't have the information to satisfy the member, and therefore she referred the member to the website. So on this occasion, I think it is acceptable, but I certainly accept the point that the member's making, that on all occasions, if the Minister simply got up and said, refer to the website, we wouldn't have a very functional question time. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Does the Ministry of Education website outline a moderation process to ensure consistency in this year's national standards results?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, overall teacher judgment is the approach used for assessment of the national standards. Overall means that it takes into account the deployment of a number of tools which are at the choice of the teachers and the schools in particular. The Public Achievement Information Framework, which sets out the 5-year plan on how we will increasingly improve the consistency of judgment, i.e. moderation, within schools and between schools, is set out in that plan. This is the second year. The data this year is better than last year's. Next year's data will be better than this year. This is a standard process of development of our education system that is world-class for that reason, among many others, because of the high trust model we operate by trusting the over 30,000 teachers across the 2,100 schools, working with the 475,000 primary school students to reach these data decisions.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, in the supplementary question that I first contested with you, the Minister referred me to the Ministry of Education website.
Correct.
I then asked her quite a specific question about what that website information would contain, and the Minister hasn't addressed that. And she hasn't answered it, certainly hasn't even addressed it.
On this occasion, Chris Hipkins raised a reasonable point. The Minister didn't have a categoric answer to the first question and said refer to the website. The member then asked for a simple question about whether that information would be available on the website, and I'm actually none the wiser as to whether it's available. Would it help the Minister if the question was repeated?
Mr Speaker, there are a range of tools used by schools and they are described on the website. In order to achieve consistency in the judgments used by teachers in respect of students, it is a process of investment over time. The specific tool that has been designed to work in this specific area is the progression and consistency tool. It is being piloted in a number of schools this year with the intention that it will be refined and applied. Yes, description of it is on the website. It will be applied in schools, and as it is tested and found to be successful, it will be used next year and the year after.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, the Minister's given quite a lot of information about what's going to happen in the future, but my question was actually whether the website contained the process that was used to ensure consistency in the data this year. And the Minister's talked about what's going to happen in the future, but I actually asked her about what had happened this year to ensure consistency in the data that she has released today.
If the Minister could answer just that final point around this year, it would help the House move on, because the Minister, I think, gave a very genuine attempt to answer that question quite fully for the member, but that bit of information, if it can be given, would assist. As to whether the information will be utilised this year, am I correct? Order. I'm going to get the question repeated again. The only aspect that still remains to be clarified is the timetable for this year.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the Ministry of Education website outline the moderation process to ensure consistency in the national standards data that has been released this year?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Yes.
Good. I appreciate that. Question number 6 on this occasion, Materia Ture.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Tēnā koutou e